feel the same way, and I think for myself personally, I've kind of shied away from Master Duel just because I like the TCG, and I find the transition between the two a little bit difficult, mainly because of Maxi. Like I find it really frustrating to play them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Maxi's such a polarizing
You have
card.
to put on like a new hat and be like, okay, I'm in a Maxi format now. Like.
Yeah, so it feels like a one-way tunnel. Like players who play Master Duel will come to the TCG all excited, but then I go to Master Duel, I'm like, nah, I don't really want to be here. I don't want to get Max Seed after he's gone full combo. Do you get what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
It's a tough one.
It's oh, sorry, yeah, Maxi is
it's a nightmare.
It's a very like it literally warps the entire game with its existence. So like that's the other thing, right? It's like I think I don't personally like Maxi, and I think anyone who says it's necessary, the only like argument I will say is like if you're playing like best of one, it may be better to have Maxi just because it's less likely for your opponent to like FTK you and you just don't see the hand trap in best of one. Whereas like in best of three, you're able to like, let's say you do get FTK turn one. Well, at least I got games 2 and 3 where I can side in more disruption for their combos. So that's like, I guess a pro of Maxi, but I do agree. I don't like Maxi existing personally. It's a little intense, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think the Maxi just promotes a completely different style of gameplay, which is something that we see in the OCG, obviously. Yeah. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest.
Funnily enough, I am one of those fans of Maxi, but I have good reasons.
Go on.
Here's my main two things is I do think special summoning is ridiculously out of control, and I feel like sometimes it just does feel like there should be a punishment for it. The problem is I do understand that it doesn't really punish people. What just happens is it's basically draw. It stops their turn. So, but the other thing as well is that for me, the reason why I don't have a problem with Maxi being OP for people going first as well is because a lot of times in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! It feels like I lose going second anyway. Unless it feels like I have to say in my head, it's like I'm gonna lose going second anyway. So I don't really care if you have Maxi on top of your 16 negate board. Well, it's like I'd rather just go second, and then if I have Maxi, then it's unfair. So, but I do recognize the reason why it shouldn't be in the TCG at the moment. Like I think what would be much better than Maxi, because I recognize it's not a balanced card, is if Konami just balanced decks better. Like that would probably just be a better solution. If Konami,
that's like it's one of those things where I feel like nowadays, like this may be because I've been playing since like for a while and everything, but like if you look at the power creep of Yu-Gi-Oh decks over the course of like even like since TOS format, there's like you have decks like Salamangreat and Sky Striker, which can like Sky Striker could go engage and whatnot, but like generally speaking, there were very fair decks, and then you have more unfair decks like Orchist, and Danger Thunder Dragon. But nowadays, there's a part of me that feels like every deck just does broken stuff now. And it's like the game's kind of warped around the idea that okay, well, either A, your deck just is gonna have enough 12 hand traps and still do like crazy things, or one thing I will say is a lot of the equalizers nowadays are a lot stronger than they used to be. So 2019 Nats, for example, Nibiru wasn't even a card. And then Nibiru got printed, and then Danger Thunder Dragon really had to really struggled into it a lot of
Dark Ruler as well, right?
Dark Ruler came out. Nibiru, Dark Ruler, and Shifter came out in the same promo set. And they all like changed the game entirely, because now it's like, okay, now we have some really strong go second cards, and then like over time we just got a much better going second option. There's a new one I think that got announced for not this next set, but the following one.
The field spell.
No, it's
No, it's like a quick
and
play.
it's special from the deck, right? It's like if they have the same type or something. I'll try and find it. You guys
Yeah,
chat now. I'll have a look.
that card looks really insane. Insanely good. It's like you'll probably have to build your deck based on the different, like you may have to play a card or two based on the other decks, but like it seems like a really strong board breaker. And like cards like Triple Tactics, both Thrust and Talents are other good examples of just like really strong go second options now.
Yeah.
And they have the versatility of going first, which is nice. I think like the game's kind of adapted in a way where people are always gonna like their decks are just inherently very strong, but nowadays there's a lot of options to counteract the fact that these decks are so strong. Something like I think another interesting point is how a lot of decks nowadays have to diversify where their interaction comes from. So like for example, because of Dark Ruler's existence, you just can't have your board be only like monster negates on the field. You need like either something in the graveyard or a counter trap or something to disrupt as well, or cards from the hand or whatever. So the diversification of disruption, like a good example is Fire King coming up is going to have like the Princess, which comes back from the graveyard to disrupt. I mean, that deck just seems crazy, but it's not like that deck doesn't necessarily have like a negate or whatever, but it just has a lot of different points of interaction to disrupt what the opponent's doing.
Yeah.
So